What's going on, everybody? It's your boy JP, back again with another video. Today, I have, obviously I'm super late here, the Google Pixel 6. This phone's been out now for about a month and a half almost, about a month and a week or something like that. And I actually did get it the day before its commercial release. This is such a high profile device that there's already so many videos out. There already was so many videos out before its commercial release. And really I just kind of, I kind of wanted to see everyone else's videos, especially a lot of the higher quality ones than mine. And just kind of, I'm not going to make this very long, really. You already know the specs. You already know about the Google Tensor processor, which kind of sits between the Snapdragon 870 and 888 in terms of just raw benchmarks. Of course, I think in single core, I think it actually does better than the 888, but don't hold me to that. I watched a few things, read a few things, different opinions, etc., etc. But of course, the fact is, this is definitely a flagship processor. It performs, just as well. There's nothing that the 888 or even the 888 Plus can do that this won't be able to do, and vice versa. I find that the Tensor processor is just an all-arounder. It is absolutely amazing. Google nailed it out of the park with the processor, and they also nailed it out of the park with the Pixel 6's pricing. The $599 you just can't beat. Just fantastic, really. It has 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs internal. Obviously, no expandable memory. It has dual SIM, but it's a single SIM slot, and then it's an eSIM. Unlocked here, of course. This is the Stormy Black color. They have two other colors besides this one right here. It is a 6.4-inch display, 1080p, 1080. I'm sorry, y'all. I got choked up there. 1080p, a full HD plus Super AMOLED. Yeah, with the always-on display. It does. It's a 90 hertz refresh rate. I know refresh rates are very important to people, me included, and I think when I did the last video to the Realme GT Neo 2, I left out that was a 120 hertz refresh rate on that AMOLED panel, which I didn't mean to leave out because that is actually a very important spec to me. Why? Obviously this phone can do 120 if Google wanted it to without costing any extra, I think, but they didn't want it to monopolize the Google 6, the Pixel 6 Pro. But really, in my opinion, there's enough already that differentiates the two and their price that they don't really monopolize each other. I would tell you that the Pixel 6 is the better buy just because you're saving $300. But the Pixel 6 Pro is a super phone. It can do what the Galaxy S21 Ultra can do. And you're talking, what, a $1,200 or $1,300 phone? And the Pixel 6 Pro is $900. They're both fantastically priced, in their own regard, really. But I do think that the Pixel 6 is enough for most people. The screen is only slightly smaller. You're just missing one of the sensors on the back, but you still got the main camera You still got the main sensor that makes this camera setup on this phone what it is. And it's just you got the ultra wide. It's just you just get one more lens. You get a slightly bigger screen. It's curved, which a lot of people don't like. That's subjective. A lot of people are going to prefer the flat panel on this phone. You do get more RAM, 12 gigs versus 8. But the Tensor already runs just so great. I mean, like I said, it really depends on what benchmark you're viewing, because there are benchmarks where this is outperforming the Snapdragon 888. But a lot of people put it between the 870 and the 888, and I can definitely understand that. Qualcomm has the edge that it has because it's really, if you really think about it and you look at things, especially with mobile gaming, and even more so emulators, if that's your thing, which I'm sure 90% of people that's not of a concern, but Qualcomm, it's their graphics chip, the Adreno graphics chip. A lot of things, a lot of games and stuff they're just better optimized for, as opposed to the ARM Mali GPUs that are found in everyone else's processors. The Tensor, your Samsung Exynos, your Hisense processors, from Huawei. They all have your MediaTeks, your Helios, and your Dimensities. Of course, your Dimensity is your 5G MediaTek chipsets, and then the Helios or the 4Gs, but they all have Mali ARM GPUs. Whereas Qualcomm, they use the ARM architecture, but they have their own GPU, the Adrenos, and it's just a lot of things like game wise are just they're just better optimized for, with Samsung using higher end Mali GPUs and Tensor included, because the Tensor is manufactured by Samsung. It supposedly has an Exynos setup like the 2100 or 2200, somewhere in between. Samsung is actually converging, the Mali GPUs with their newly acquired AMD, technology from AMD that they acquired. And I think even MediaTek has some kind of right with AMD as well, and they're going to be doing things, with AMD, as far as graphics are concerned, and I mean, heck, Oppo already has ray tracing, being they already have ray tracing being enabled with some Dimensity chipsets, so the other GPUs are definitely just as capable, if not more capable, because a lot of them are even higher clocked. Your Adrenos, your developers, they just tend to optimize things for those, graphics chips, just because there's more of them out there. But of course, that's what makes your Snapdragon so good at the same time, though, is that customization that you really only get from Qualcomm. But the Google Tensor is just really just the best of everything. It's so fluid. It does a great job. I'm gonna tell y'all, if this processor ends up in the Pixel 6a, I mean, you're already gonna have budget phone of the year next year. I mean, did I think the Pixel 5a was budget phone of this year? No, it was great, but no. Did I think that the Pixel 4a or the 4a 5G or even the Pixel 5 were mid-range phones of the year last year? I do not. Again, they were great phones, but I don't consider them such. But the Pixel 6a, if it has the Tensor, even if it doesn't have the even if it uses the lens that the 5a has, or the 5, which is what the rumor is right now, it's still going to be a fantastic camera system, as the 5a shows us today, and with the Tensor, it's just going to be even better. They're going to find a way to make that outdated camera with Tensor instead of Snapdragon just work wonders. I mean, you're not gonna believe it. And of course, over time, that's only going to get better here with these systems on the full blown Pixel 6 and Pixel 6 Pro. But like I said, I really just want to go over the issues that people are having with this phone. I'm not even going to go over LTE bands and 5G bands and what works. You already know what works. There's no point in going in over that. The fingerprint sensor. I have actually had no problem with the fingerprint sensor on this phone. It works great. It does have a few hiccups, but I have hiccups with every phone. Is it the fastest? It's not. Is it the slowest? It is not. It works great for me. I haven't had a problem with it since day one. Don't know if I'm gonna be able to get it working. Of course, I'm on camera, so of course it's gonna act up because I'm on camera. Of course, I've talked about this before, but I haven't had any real issues with it. I haven't tried any tempered glass screen protectors or screen protectors in general, but it's not slow by any means. It's not the fastest though. There is a trick. There's a setting, and you don't even have to go into the developer options for it. But there's a setting to actually turn off the animations, and I find that it actually makes the fingerprint sensor work faster. But do I have that enabled right now? No. I find that I actually love the animations of Android 12, and I miss them, so I wanted it on instead of off. And I was okay with a couple of milliseconds, longer for the fingerprint sensor, because it works great without having to change any kind of setting. Battery life, that's the next thing. Now, yeah, probably my biggest complaint with the Pixel 6 is it just charges too slow. It really does. 30 watt or 27 watt, whatever, wireless, wired, whatever. It's entirely too slow. And I really hate to say this. I'm going to sound a little harsh saying this, but there's really no excuse for it. It does. I will tell you a bit of advice here. It is best, notice how the Pixel, the 6 here and Pixel phones in the past, you have a USB Type-C to USB Type-C cable, not your USB-C to USB-A. Okay, this is a USB Type-C to USB Type-C. The best chargers to use with this phone, other than the ones that Google sells for this phone, or the one that Google sells for this phone, I should say, are any PD chargers. PD standing for power delivery. Any power delivery charger is going to work best. How to tell? How to know what a power delivery charger is, or what it looks like, or how do you know if you have one, whatnot, or how to find one? It's simple. It has a USB Type-C connector on the wall unit itself, instead of a USB A and USB Type A. It has a USB Type-C connector, that you connect your wire to, before it goes into the wall. And that is a power delivery charger. That is what you want. Those are going to work best. That's just from my own experience. A lot of these other reviewers will probably tell you the same thing if they haven't already. If you don't have the Google one, the power delivery wall units, wall warts, whatever you want to call them, those work best. Do they charge it super fast? They don't, but they do charge it the fastest. Does this phone lose battery life? Quick? It doesn't. It has like a 4800 something milliamp battery. I mean it's not the longest lasting, but it doesn't. I can work a 9 or 10 hour shift at work, and it'll have like 39-40% battery life left. And I use my phone intensely at work. Screen on time, out the yin yang. So going to work with 100% at 4:30 in the morning, and get out around 1:30, 2:30, sometimes 3:30, and have 38, 39, maybe 35% battery. I'm doing pretty good. I am OCD, so it does kind of I kind of don't like that. But again, I do use my phone intensively. I do use it a lot. The screen is on a lot. I'm kind of like Jay Will on the thing. I don't go into the whole battery stat thing. I kind of don't believe in that myself. That's more of an average. But the one way that you can save on battery life is actually changing some of the adaptive features. And I also find that the adaptive features also help with charging it. Like if you go into, let's see, where do I have it at here? Give me a second here, y'all. Just want to find it here. I had a little shortcut for it here. If we go right here, if you go to adaptive preferences here, I have adaptive charging off because that helps it charge faster. adaptive battery right there, if you turn that off, it doesn't make the battery life any better. It's actually better the way it is with it on. This is my setting: adaptive battery on and adaptive charging off. Adaptive battery, if you turn that off, it'll make it perform better for like gaming, so to speak. But it's really not noticeable. I mean, it's adaptive for a reason. It uses AI technology. It uses the Tensor. That's kind of what the Tensor chip was built for. You know, it knows when you're gaming and when you're setting those games up, you know, on the highest settings, you're not going to have a problem playing them. It's not going to have any hiccups or anything like that. The phone is gonna, you know, it's going to operate just fine. But that's just, that's really what I have here for it. Like I said, you already know everything else about this phone. There's no sense in really just going over everything. But I hope that helps somebody. I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace out.